Quick question for you. Why do things get expensive by the day? Why do you work hard every single month, but somehow it feels like your money buys less and less? Maybe you've wondered why printing more money, which sounds like it should solve poverty, can actually ruin a country's economy. Or why millions of people lose their jobs at once, even when they didn't do anything wrong. And here's the big one. Why do some countries, sitting on billions of dollars worth of oil and gold, stay trapped in poverty, while tiny nations with almost no natural resources become the wealthiest places on Earth? These aren't random mysteries. They have clear, logical answers. And in the next 6 minutes, I'm going to give them to you. No textbooks, no jargon, and no economics degree needed. By the end of this video, you'll understand the real fundamentals of economics better than the average adult. Let's start. Most people think economics is just about banks and stock markets, but it's actually much bigger. Economics is the study of how people make choices when they don't have enough of everything they want. Think about it. You have 24 hours in a day, a limited amount of money, and limited energy, but you have unlimited wants. That tension between limited resources and unlimited wants is called scarcity. Scarcity is universal. Even the richest person on Earth can't buy back time. Because of scarcity, every choice has a trade-off. This brings us to a massive concept: opportunity cost. This is the value of what you give up when you choose one thing over another. If you have $10 and spend it on food, the opportunity cost might be the bus fare to a job interview. If you spend your Saturday watching Netflix, the opportunity cost might be the business you didn't start or the exam you didn't study for. Once you understand this, you stop asking, "What does this cost?" and start asking, "What am I giving up by choosing this?" That shift in thinking is economics. Now, let's look at the engine of the world: supply and demand. If you understand this, you understand why prices move. Demand is how much people want to buy. Usually, as price goes up, demand goes down. High prices push people away. Supply is how much producers want to sell. Here it's the opposite. When prices are high, suppliers want to produce more because there's more profit. Somewhere in the middle, they meet at a point called equilibrium, the price where the amount buyers want matches exactly what sellers want to sell. Think about rent in a growing city. If more people move in, demand goes up. But building houses takes time, so supply is slow. The result? Prices skyrocket. Or think about a farmer with a record harvest of tomatoes. Suddenly, there's a massive supply, but people can only eat so many tomatoes. Now you have a surplus, and prices fall. This is the invisible hand. Millions of individual decisions pushing prices to where they need to be without anyone being in charge. But what happens when all prices rise at once? That's inflation. It means your money is losing its purchasing power. If a loaf of bread cost 500 euros last year and 1,000 euros today, inflation has effectively cut your wealth in half. What causes it? Usually it's too much money chasing too few goods. If a government prints heaps of cash to solve its problems, everyone has more money, but the number of goods hasn't increased. Everyone competes for the same products, and prices spiral. We saw this in Zimbabwe and Venezuela, where people had to carry wheelbarrows of cash just to buy bread. Inflation can also happen if production costs rise, like when oil prices spike, or when demand heats up so fast that supply can't keep up. While a tiny bit of inflation, about 2%, is considered healthy, high inflation is a destructive force that hurts the poor the most. So how do countries actually get rich? We measure this using GDP, or the total value of everything a country produces. But the real driver of growth is productivity, producing more with less. This happens through education. A skilled workforce is a productive one. 2. Technology. A farmer with a tractor outproduces a farmer with a hoe every single time. 3. Institutions. This is the secret sauce. Economies thrive when there are clear laws, property rights, and a lack of corruption. Look at Singapore. In 1965, it was a resource-poor island. Today, it's one of the wealthiest places on Earth because it prioritized education, infrastructure, and the rule of law. Now look at Venezuela. It has the largest oil reserves on the planet, but because of corruption and poor policy, the economy collapsed. Resources without institutions is often a curse, not a blessing. Finally, why does the government get involved? Because markets aren't perfect. They can create monopolies or ignore pollution. Governments use fiscal policy, spending and taxes, and monetary policy, interest rates, to steer the ship. When the economy is slow, the central bank might lower interest rates to make borrowing cheap, encouraging you to buy a house or start a business. When inflation is too high, they raise rates to cool things down. Whether a country leans toward capitalism, private ownership and competition, or socialism, government ownership and equality, most of the world actually uses a mixed economy. We use markets for most things, but the government steps in to provide public goods like schools or roads. At the end of the day, economics isn't really about money or Wall Street. It's about human behavior under constraint. It's about the choices you make every day with your time, your energy, and your cash. The more you understand these principles, the more the world makes sense. You'll understand why prices change, why policies fail, and why some nations struggle, while others thrive. If this video helped you see the world a little more clearly, hit that subscribe button. Here at Cindy Explains, we're all about taking complex ideas and making them genuinely understandable. No fluff, just clarity. Drop a comment below and let me know what topic I should tackle next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.